Welcome to New Life Live, the premier place to receive free advice from Christian psychologists and counselors for the mental, emotional, relational, and spiritual challenges you face. Since 1988, we've offered compassionate responses that combine God's truth with proven psychological principles to guide you toward healing. Our phone lines are open. Call us now at 1-800-229-3000.
Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome to New Life Live. On today's show, we have a special guest, Dr. Henry Cloud and Dr. Jill Hubbard. And I know Henry is the special guest, but Jill, you're the special guest as well. And,
I'm the regular guest.
It's interesting because I was telling Jill before we came to air that, Henry was with us way in the beginning, like way time.
Back when we were the boys, and then
yes.
I got added, right?
And you were the girl.
The boys
you were
and Dr. Jill.
Dr. Jill. But, it's interesting because not only is Henry a well-known author, I mean, he's, 46 books, New York Times best-selling author. Boundaries is like a second Bible to so many of us in the helping field as well as people who need help. But, I was thinking back over some of my favorite books of Henry's is that I love Changes That Heal. It is something that we've used in groups as well as just referred.
Best.
It is so good. And, anotother one he did with John is Safe People. And I remember the first time reading that one, and I thought, oh, we're the people that have to be safe. I mean, it's just really amazing what an impact Henry's work has had. But also, Jill, just even being able to work with each other, helping so many people. Henry, I know I'm saying all these things about you and you're blushing and all that kind of thing, but what has been the most just rewarding thing about this incredible career of yours, helping people?
That's kind of easy to answer. And I really don't mean this in a kind of, hyper spiritual way. But the most rewarding thing is it's been like a worship experience, literally. Because when you begin to get really into the trenches of where life breaks down and where it's supposed to be and trying to close that gap, that whole time has been it's been a journey of seeing God show up, but also learning that he really has some stuff to say about how things get better. And the farther I've gone into this, and you learn all the science and all that, and you go, wow, that's what the Bible says. I think whoever wrote the Bible must know something about the brain and about the emotions and about relationships. And literally, I'm not trying to sound weird, but it has been the deepest spiritual and worship experience. That's just true.
I love that. So many times we will say it's like a front row seat to what God is doing in the lives of so many people. We collectively, the three of us, I know, have heard so many stories of what God has done before and after, and the possibility that God can resurrect a life that to some people would just, write it off.
Right.
Well, I wrote a book last year called Why I Believe, which is just my testimony of how I learned what I know now. It's because I was really, really depressed, and it's what he did in my life.
I love it. And you can get it through New Life if you want, and as well as your devotional that you put out last year too. It's interesting, Henry, to walk that journey with God, helping people. You've been faithful to the call that's been on your life. And you're not done yet, right? I mean, you got miles to go before you sleep.
Becky, that's kind of weird because I'm like 100 years old now, and someone asked me the other day about that. And I literally said, and it's because of stuff I'm learning and doing and all this kind of stuff, I said, I feel like I'm just starting. God is, the ceiling comes off of who you thought he was and what he can do.
I love it.
All the time.
And we'll be back. Here at New Life, we want you to have transformation. And so we have created the New Life courses, and you meet weekly on Zoom with a coach or counselor. You're going to have teaching as well as that group connection, because we know how powerful that is. We hear that all the time about our intensives, that they love the information, but the group process is so powerful. And many of you have been hesitant to participate because you're not sure, the timing, the price. New Life courses are going to meet you right at that area of need. Every week you're meeting on Zoom with that therapist. You're going over the concepts as well as connecting as a group. It is so powerful, and it's accessible. Wherever you are, you're going to be able to join us.
Begin your transformation January 29th with a New Life course. Lose it for life, take your life back, or healing is a choice. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
Welcome back. We are so glad that you joined us today. Today we're going to talk with, Henry and Jill are going to talk with lots of people.
Can I tell a funny Henry story
I would
before
love
we
a
jump
funny-
into
Yes.
serious stuff? Okay, so Henry, the first time I was on radio with you, I don't know if you remember, but I asked you, you were sitting to my left, I said, Henry, what do I do? And you said, just relax, just be yourself. I said, no, Henry, how do I work the equipment? Like, thank you, I know that, but how do I work the equipment?
Well, you asked the wrong person.
I guess I did.
I can tell you how to be yourself, because, what other option do you have?
Exactly.
Everybody else can take it,
Right.
But I don't know which button to push.
I love that. That's Terry Mack's job. We'll ask Terry those questions. All right, we're going to go to the calls right now, and we're going to talk with Abigail, who's calling us from Minneapolis, and her mom told her to call. And so we're always happy with moms telling people to call us, but
and that they actually listen.
That's right. How can we help you, Abigail?
Hi, I was calling because I've been having so much issue in my marriage, and I don't think it's going to change. So I want to leave, but I just want to make sure that I'm making the right decision.
Okay, say more. What's the big main issue in the marriage that is pushing you to leave?
That will be finances, financial money.
Okay. Can you say more about that? Is he working? Is he gambling? Where's the money going that's coming in?
He's working, but we don't put anything together. So it's like I pay my share of the bills, he pays share of his bills, but I don't get anything from him. Even if I ask him for money, like the days I'm struggling, sometimes financially struggling, and I will ask him, he won't help me. And this has been like 6 years, and I don't think it's going to change, because I have talked to my pastors, I have talked to other people that have talked to him, but he just refused. But he do have a lot of money, because he has most of his assets is in West Africa, Ghana, and there where he has built properties. He has like salons, he has Airbnb, he has purchased like land, building homes and stuff. But I just don't get anything from him.
Okay.
So if I understand it, he has and makes all the money, but he won't give any to you. Is that?
Yes.
And you've been married 6 years?
Yes. This year will be 7, but it's been 6 years.
Okay. Second marriage?
This is my first marriage.
Okay. And
How about his? Is it his first marriage?
Yes, it's first.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and he is a believer?
Yeah, he's a pastor. Yeah.
What?
Yes.
Really?
Okay, but there's no coming together, right?
No,
Becoming
and he don't
one.
want for us to do anything. No counseling. I said we
Is
should
he
go
a
for
pastor?
counseling.
Is he a pastor of Joey's church, and his name's Joey, or does he have like a board of elders that oversees this guy?
No, he's a pastor for one of the branch for a church that is in West Africa, Liberia. So they have one branch here. So he's the pastor for that one here.
Okay, but who does he answer to?
To be honest, he doesn't answer to anyone. He do whatever he wants to do. And that's one of the problems too, because he doesn't listen to anyone, no.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, does he believe the Bible?
He says he believes the Bible, but for me, I do not see him read the Bible. You know, like the way family can have devotions and when you study, like do like a Bible study. He do not do that.
I wasn't asking if he puts it to practice, because clearly in one area he's not.
Mm-hmm.
He would be listed in what the scriptures call, he's apparently have the gift of teaching, but he's probably an, quote, elder, and one of the requirements of an elder is to take care and manage of his own household. And furthermore, Paul says he who doesn't take care of his own household, beginning with his family, is worse than an unbeliever. And if I'm an overseer of this church and I got a guy that is clearly violating the requirements to do his office, then I would hold him accountable. Now, here's why I'm saying this. Not so he can have Bible studies with you, which would be great. But what I'm saying is, for any kind of change when somebody's in denial and resistance and won't take feedback and doesn't care, then what we have to turn to consequences that have leverage over him. And so what I would want to think about is, who can I contact in his overseeing body and say, your pastor is not doing what the scripture says, A. B, you said he's unwilling to go to marriage counseling?
Yes, he won't do anything. Like anything that's going to build the marriage up, that will build our life together, he do not want to participate in anything.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay, so who in his life does he care about, what they think about him, and has leverage? Are there donors to this thing? Are there friends? Are there extended family? Who can come in and surround him? Because, what the scripture says, when your boundaries aren't being listened to, then we do things that increase the leverage to contain somebody who's in denial. Okay, who is in the circle that has some kind of power, relationally or otherwise, into getting his ear? Who can you appeal to?
It would be his stepmom, like his father, ex-wife. She's the one that we talk. Sometimes he listens, but I do not have a relationship with her, so I don't talk to her like that, and she do not speak English.
That's the only person that has any influence over this man?
Pretty much, yeah. That's how I know of. Yes.
No friends.
Yeah.
No other family.
No, he don't listen to anyone. So his family, his family, my family, friends that he know, even like pastor friends.
What about the church? What about the church? Somebody's listening to him preach.
Mm-hmm.
No, he do not.
They don't listen?
He doesn't have a congregation,
I'm
Abigail?
wondering why you married this man.
Yeah, he do have a congregation, but the congregation is like, okay, I'm here today and we are here, but I don't think they do go deeper than on the surface of everything. What are we going to do? Meetings? What are we going to do? Things like that.
Okay, so I would try to find somebody, a few people in this congregation that would go with you and sit down with him and say, dude, this isn't okay. If we're going to come to church, we can't support this, and blah, blah, blah. That's A. B, I would tell him, would you go to marriage counseling with me? To which he will say no. And then you can say, I'm going to go to marriage counseling, not counseling for myself. I'm going to marriage counseling. And since I'm going to be talking about you and what steps I need to take in this marriage to make it work or not work, and it's going to affect you, you might want to be there. And sometimes they'll show up if they know they're going to be affected by some decisions. And then wherever that goes, the next thing I would do before bailing on everything is I would talk to a good family attorney, because there is a such thing as a legal separation that puts financial, it's just like a divorce, but it's not a divorce, it's a financial, and he would be required, possibly, to begin to change this behavior, and that might break through the denial, but that would be a step before, going the nuclear option. That's the way I would look at it.
And Abigail, you said that you pay bills and he pays bills, right? That you guys share in that. How do you get money? Do you work?
So for me, I work. I'm a caregiver, so I work for he's like self-employed.
Okay, so...
But he makes more money?
He makes more money. And the strange things, since I met this man, I have never seen his paycheck. But he makes a lot of money because he has businesses that people work for him.
Yeah. So he said, I do, except for my bank account, right?
Yes.
He's keeping that.
Well, and a whole list of other things. Yeah. Listen to my wife.
Right. So, Abigail, if you are having a hard time with money and you guys are sharing the bills, I might let him know that, you know what, there are certain bills I'm no longer going to be able to pay as well. So obviously the ones that, would affect him, those are the ones I would give back to him, and let him know that you can't do that. And then just pay for, the things that are just pertain to you as you're taking these steps. But yeah, you need somebody to walk alongside you, and you do need legal advice.
Do you know what's interesting about this too? Henry, you said in a previous show, confrontations don't always work, but consequences do. Isn't that something along that same line?
Yeah.
And it sounds to me like, Abigail, you keep going at him with, you need to pay me or you need to share money. And there's a marriage breakdown here that we need to, that needs to be addressed. But I think that the next best step is I love what they both said. Talk with a lawyer, talk with a pastor, get moving in the direction of connection. It makes a difference.
Yeah. And after you've taken several steps that are relational attempts to win him over, like Matthew 18 says, you start by yourself, you listen to you get a couple of others, then you get a bigger group. And it actually says at that point, you tell it to the church. That one gets kind of complicated. But then the last one is a separation, say, until A, B, and C happens. And this is after you've gone through all the other attempts. If you won't come to the table, then I can't live with you until it does. And sometimes that consequence will break somebody. But it's a separation in the service, really, of trying to save the marriage or make it better before you go down the divorce route. Obviously, there's other situations but you're not being abused or physically or in danger or anything like that.
The interesting thing about that process, though, Larry, okay, where did that come from? Henry. The interesting thing about that, though, is because some people, we think that divorce is the answer. We just have to get divorced, not realizing that there's a lot of work that happens to get a divorce. And that you can get a lot of clarity if you move into that space of understanding. Sorry, I'll get myself back together. I was talking to a doctor friend of mine who went to a financial planning seminar for doctors right when he got out of medical school, and the guy stands up and says, given your profession, it was all surgeons, given your profession, I'm going to give you a lot of different financial plans for your life and a lot of different options, but I'm going to give you one that, given your profession, I guarantee you, given your profession, if you follow this one plan, you'll never have financial problems. Everybody gets out their pencil. He goes, here it is. One wife, one house.
Yep.
Wow.
Once you go down, the Bible even talks about divorces. Sometimes, it happens. But going to if you go in with a fever, first option they give is not amputation.
Right.
There's a process that you go through that reveals whether or not that's the only option for certain circumstances. But you don't jump there. And another thing, I just want to say this about boundaries. I hear a lot of times people say, my husband this, or my wife this, or my friends this, or my mother, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And I read boundaries, and now I'm going to have some boundaries, and I'm going to divorce him, or I'm never going to talk to him again.
Right. They weaponize them.
I said, well, you didn't read the book. If you think that's what it says. That's not God. If that had been God's first boundary, this thing would have been over in Genesis 3.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
God is not slow about his promises. He's wishing that all would come to repentance, and he has lots of interventions before one day he will turn out the lights and separate.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Step one. I just talked to a couple the other day. I was preaching on marriage, and they came out and said, we got the greatest marriage. We were divorced, and then we started to learn some things to get better, and now we're happily married.
Hold on.
We've been married 33 years. We attended the Intimacy and Marriage Workshop. Even though we've read books or attended a few other marriage weekends, this was certainly different and a lot more intensive than initially that we thought.
When you come to Intimacy and Marriage, you're going to be immersed into a 3-day process.
Was not really sure exactly what to expect, but the idea of learning to really understand intimacy was intriguing. We had been in the same patterns of struggle over and over again.
If you've thought, I don't think we can ever change, we're just in this rut and we can't get out, the Intimacy and Marriage Workshop can help you get out of the rut.
The Intimacy and Marriage Weekend is February 13th to the 15th in Orange County, California. Register online at newlife.com or call 1-800-NEW-LIFE and use the code NLL for a discount. 1-800-639-5433.
I would highly recommend it.
For over 35 years, New Life has been the most trusted name in Christian counseling.
Your ministry has saved my life.
If you struggle with emotional hurt, family or marriage problems, the pit of depression, or the pain of addiction, we can help.
I'm down 100 pounds now from what I was.
I found a counselor through New Life Ministries, and it's just been outstanding.
Our treatment programs provide clinically appropriate solutions from licensed professionals, all in a biblical framework.
I have had problems with alcohol. I think God has ordained this place to be His.
You don't have to be a prisoner of your pain. Help is available at 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
She tells me that I'm a new man, and I feel like a new man.
It worked for me, and it can work for them too.
This time it is different.
If you're ready to take the first steps toward genuine spiritual and emotional healing, call us today at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. God can open the door for a better tomorrow.
To get someone that's competent, that's good at what they do, it's been like day and night compared to what I've had before.
Call 1-800-639-5433. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
Welcome back. I want to encourage Abigail to get a copy of Boundaries and begin to, just get the connections that what Henry and Jill both talked about. I know there's so many complex factors that when it comes to marriage, but we do know clarity can bring a lot of kindness into the situation, and we don't want to jump ship before we get some clarity. I want to also mention that we have New Life courses that are available online. They're going to start January 29th. We have Lose It for Life, Healing is a Choice, and Take Your Life Back. These courses you'll meet every week with a facilitator and a small group, and it's really a great way for you to get onto your new life. A lot of times we just want something different, but we have to take time out and do something to head us in that direction. And we want to invite you to join us at a New Life course. You can find all the information at newlife.com. All right, we're going to go back to the calls, and we are going to start with Lisa, who's calling us from Lansing. She listens on Sirius XM. Hello, Lisa. Thanks for calling. How can we help you today?
Hi, can you hear me okay?
We sure can.
Okay. I just, because I'm in the car right now for privacy, I used to listen to Dr. Henry Cloud. I'm going to say it wrong. Henry Cloud and John Townsend on Family Life Radio out of Lansing back when my kids were little. So my marriage is a year older than your ministry here at New Life, 36 years. Yeah, and I've heard you guys on and off, and then I listen when I can. I'm serious now when I'm in the car. And I just love what they preach, what they talk about, their books they've written. I'm not a stranger to boundaries. I need to read the book, but I have listened to all this good advice, and yet I'm still finding myself in this lovely dichotomy of a 36-year marriage to a man whom I truly love, but also has a beer addiction and is a very loving, highly functioning alcoholic. We have this large family we've created with God's help. Obviously, God created it, and I am a Christian. He has been confirmed as a Christian. I'm not sure all the way about his practicing his faith with Christ, but definitely with God. And he loves, he loves his family and all of us. So it's apparent that there's Christianity in his life, but I don't know how practicing he is with. You'd think before you get married, you would know whether the person has been truly saved or not. But when you get married at 18, 19 years old, we're still young. We're in our mid-50s. You don't always ask those questions that you should be asking. A lot more things were going on in our brains than that, and we were having a baby. So we started off pretty rough, but we beat the odds, every single odds you can think of. We've rewritten the book and beat the odds. We're outside the parameters of normal and by any textbook standard. And so I'm just wondering how to cope. I'm yelling too much again. I've been to Al-Anon. I've done it. I talked to Parent Talk, Kevin Lehman and Randy Carlson's group when they were on the radio and in Lansing at one point. And we've done the pull the rug out in the worst way. I screwed up really bad and did it the dumbest way. The gel neck chart is real, but I don't like it, but it's real.
I don't know what to pull the rug out. What does that mean?
Like pull the rug out, like Kevin Lehman said, you got to pull the rug out. Well, I think he meant like set boundaries, or like you just said to the other caller about consequences. I think he was saying, I'm not sure what that meant. And I went home kind of baffled from Lansing and drove an hour home and thought, what is going on? So, because we're in that area. So I said to myself later, like a dummy, pulled the rug out in the worst way a woman could and tried to leave the marriage, which I didn't really want to leave, and he didn't either. So then a war ensued, which was just absolutely wonderful. Very sarcastic, I'm saying that. And our neighbors had a great show, and we provided a lot of entertainment. But we're still together, and our children have survived that entertainment. They're wonderfully successful. Don't ask me why. My God is a good God. That's the only God has gotten us through so much. Our children are immensely talented and successful, and that's because of God and Christ and our faith and our love for each other. We have this really good side of our marriage.
Lisa,
there's a dichotomy, and we have a really bad side of our marriage. Yeah.
All right, Lisa, we hear there's a lot been going on in that 36 years. How can we help you the best today?
Buttons. How do I change my buttons? My sponsor in Al-Anon used to say, change your buttons. He got me last night right in the door. He's been sick with the flu. And here he is. We've got 7 grandchildren, 4 children. I was watching the kids yesterday. Came home, in between a dad with dementia. We're the sandwich generation. We're taking care of a lot. We got lots of layers. Mom's fighting cancer. His mom's fighting cancer right now.
And what happened, Lisa? And so you came in the door.
He pressed the button, and it was a winner. It was a winner. Winner, chicken dinner. There I am, off to the races, yelling back. All it was he made fun of me for going to the doctor. He said every week, you haven't gone to the doctor this week? Because he's anti-establishment, institution. I mean, we're out, like I said, we're non-conformist.
So we're going to go to a break.
Yelling again.
We're going to go to a break, and you're going to take a big, deep breath. And I hear all the energy that goes into trying to unravel 36 years. And now that, you want to have that good next 36 years. I mean, that's possible, right? So the big question, Lisa, is what?
Buttons. How do I change my buttons so I'm not reacting and giving him a reason to drink?
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Oh, wow. That's a great question. Mm-hmm. All right. Hold that thought. We're going to get some answers from Henry and Jill. And I just, it's always something. When you've been married a long time, that's why we do what we do. We want to help you get clarity so that, whether you have buttons or not, you know where they are. We'll be right back after this.
My husband addicted to pornography for the majority of our marriage. I was very isolated and didn't really know which way to turn.
If you've been affected by betrayal, an emotional or physical affair, or pornography, the Restore Intensive will equip you with support and tools to help you through.
I went to the Restore conference, which seemed to be the missing puzzle piece where I was able to find my voice.
When two people want to do their part, we can be restored. But if they don't, we are not stuck because someone else made a decision. God lets us weigh in on how we want to walk out our life.
The Restore Intensive is coming to Dallas, Texas, March 6th to the 8th. Register online at newlife.com or call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Enter the code NLL for a discount.
I'm navigating my world now. It feels so wonderful.
I've had a great experience at Restore.
1-800-NEW-LIFE and the discount code NLL. There's a place where real healing begins, where truth meets grace, and where transformation starts. New Life Recovery Groups offers a Christ-centered, supportive community for growth, healing, and restoration. Built on a proven 12-step foundation and grounded in biblical truth, these groups help bring clarity, accountability, and lasting hope for those who are ready for change. And when deeper personal guidance is needed, one-on-one coaching and counseling are available, walking with you every step of the way. Here, lives are renewed, stories are rewritten, and hope is restored. You're not alone. You're not judged. You're welcomed into a community that believes God is still at work in your story. Take the next step toward healing. Join a New Life Recovery Group today, online or in person. Visit newlife.com/groups or call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Find healing, find community, find new life. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
Welcome back. We are talking to Lisa. She's been married 36 years. They've been through a lot together, and her basic question was how to get rid of the buttons, right, Lisa?
Yeah.
And so we're going to talk about how to deal with those buttons. Henry, I'm going to start with you.
Well, buttons always have a context, right? There's something outside that's pushing that button. Sometimes it can be something inside that pushes the button from something that comes outside, but something triggers it is a popular word. And if you are unable to contain your internal response to the triggering button, which is him and his behavior, I would say, first of all, just you got to find a way to step away from the trigger. Mm-hmm. When that's happening and you think you're going to lose it and you're going to start a war or whatever the goofiness is that he's going to react to, all you got to do is say, this doesn't feel good to me right now. I'm going to take a walk. Or, I don't really want to talk about this. Let's talk about something else. But something that contains it and gets you away from it, A. B, there is probably a theme to the buttons. There are a lot of different buttons, but those buttons hook up to the same panel of what the accelerator is. And so I would start to look at what is the theme of his behaviors when he's out of control. Is he when he gets emotionally unregulated? Is it when he tries to control me? Is it when he doesn't pay the light bill or whatever it is? When he turns the kids against me? Whatever it is. And you find that, and then that theme becomes an issue to talk about. You don't talk about the all the other noise. Just say, I love you. I want to be close to you. But when this happens, I move away, and I don't think you want me feeling distant from you, and I don't want to be distant to you. And I would objectify the actually the dynamic. And then you got to do the real hard stuff, which is what do you bring to the party about your own still unresolved wounds that this triggers, right? Maybe from your past grown-up years, who knows where it comes from. And then connected to that are some skills. And a lot of times we have buttons that get pushed because there's an absence of a skill that would immunize us against that button. So if you have certain skills of knowing how to say what when, or how to communicate in this way, or how to, how you calm down a person that's enraged, or whatever it is, that skill set, here's the paradox, the more competent you feel in any situation, the less triggered you get. So Jesus didn't get triggered, and he could go into the worst situations because he was in control of himself. Now, sometimes everything he had said wasn't listened to, and he might, turn over some tables for the money changers. But your strength is going to calm down your nervous system and your reactivity, and all those points will kind of load on that.
I love that.
Yeah.
Jill?
Yeah. Okay, so Lisa, first of all, okay, he's a high-functioning beeraholic, okay? And any addict is invested in shutting things down. They're not invested in getting help and opening things up and talking about our feelings. They want to shut things down. So one of the best ways is to keep the focus on the other person. It sounds like he makes comments to undermine you, which then triggers your feelings, as Henry was talking about, your lack of confidence, and then the need to explain and react defensively. And so you've got to see this this pattern, this dance that you guys have been doing for 36 years. And what's your part of it? Because, see, if he can provoke you and you start yelling, he can go, look at you, look at what you're doing. And then it's all about that, and he can go along and just continue to function how he's functioning. So you said you went to Al-Anon. One of the things they teach there is healthy detachment. Before you walk in the door, you have to prepare yourself. No matter what he says to me, I'm going to do what Henry said. I'm going to take a deep breath, and I'm going to pause, and I'm not going to answer. And it's going to be hard to sit on your hands like that and not answer. And leave the room. Go to the bathroom, take a time out, and regather your thoughts. And realize that he's doing that to destabilize things. He doesn't even realize he's doing it, but because he's been doing it so long. And so when you gather your thoughts, then you can come back in a way that doesn't jump into the content, but that can say, this kind of, dance that we do, I don't really want to do it anymore. I don't want to play that way.
That's right.
Right? And you just step out of it.
You were talking about, the not getting engaged stuff. That's so true. You don't want to hit the tennis ball back and start a volley.
No.
Here. But here's a great response when he does something like that. Be very calm and look at him and say, so I'm curious. What were you thinking that comment would do?
Yeah.
I'm just curious. What were you trying to make me or somebody else feel? And like Jill says, you're putting it back. See, he's trying to avoid that. And you're saying, I'm not going to take that and do something with it to take it off you. I'm just going to reflect back and say, that's an interesting comment. What were you hoping to achieve there?
Yeah.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Lisa, I would encourage you, if you guys have never done anything like an intensive, we've got one coming in a couple of weeks in California. Make the trip.
And it's warm here.
Yeah. And
Warmer.
It's not warm in Michigan.
No.
So, join us at our Intimacy and Marriage Intensive in Orange County. Hold on, and we'll get you the information that you need for that. But it is worth doing. You've invested 36 years into this marriage. Let's not be miserably married. Let's do the work. Thank you, Jill, and thank you, Henry. We're going to go back to the callers, and we're going to talk with
Becky.
Yes, sir.
Becky.
Yes.
I think that's great. I'm the worst at book titles, but if you ever write one, that should be the name of it. Miserably Married.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because everybody will say, hey, that's us.
Yeah.
Thanks for that tip, Henry.
If my goal were just to write a book that sold a bunch, then I would entitle it "How to Fix Him."
Right. Oh, yeah, you'd sell a lot.
You sure would. You sure would. Oh, goodness. Well, now, with that being said, B, we're talking to B from San Francisco. She listens on the internet. We're so glad that you called, B. How can we help you today?
Hi, you can hear me, right?
Yes, we sure can.
Okay, sorry, thanks. I'm in the car, too. I wanted to make sure. So for 15 months now, I've been in a mutually enjoyable, caring, yet confusing, dysregulating for me, friendship relationship with a Christian, mixed signals male, possibly avoidant. Because of the stronghold of my mental anguish from this friendship that's undefined, that I want way more of, I'm wondering, do I need to quit him, go no contact?
What are the mixed signals?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a flirty, fun friendship. There's light affection.
What is light affection? What is light affection?
Just
I know what light means, but what does it look like?
Oh.
And what are the activities that you're calling light affection?
We, he hug and a quick peck on it went from the cheek to the lips, a quick peck, but he does that with other women at church a little bit. And then just like massagey, like neck or scratchy shoulder.
So touching.
Neck. Yeah, light touching, affection, just mutual, like.
Okay, if I ask God and the Beverly Hillbillies, does this look like platonic behavior or not?
No.
And I don't mean immoral or anything. I'm just trying to put it in a category.
Right.
Would he do the same thing with his sister? Unless he's from certain states. I mean, would this be?
Stop it. B, you can hear the music. We're going to go to a break, so I don't want to be in the middle of it. But I love Henry.
Hears the music.
Yeah, she might hear the music. That's right. B, we hear that it's a struggle, and we're going to get you clarity. But we got to take a break, and on the other side of that break, we'll have some more information. And we won't make any comments about certain states, will we, Henry?
Yeah.
I didn't name any.
That's a good thing. Thank you, B, for calling, but don't go anywhere because we're going to be right back after this break. You're listening to New Life Live, 1-800-229-3000.
For over 35 years, New Life has been the most trusted name in Christian counseling.
Your ministry has saved my life.
If you struggle with emotional hurt, family or marriage problems, the pit of depression, or the pain of addiction, we can help.
I'm down 100 pounds now from what I was.
I found a counselor through New Life Ministries, and it's just been outstanding.
Our treatment programs provide clinically appropriate solutions from licensed professionals, all in a biblical framework.
I have had problems with alcohol. I think God has ordained this place to be His.
You don't have to be a prisoner of your pain. Help is available at 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
She tells me that I'm a new man, and I feel like a new man.
It worked for me, and it can work for them too.
This time it is different.
If you're ready to take the first steps toward genuine spiritual and emotional healing, call us today at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. God can open the door for a better tomorrow.
To get someone that's competent, that's good at what they do, it's been like day and night compared to what I've had before.
Call 1-800-639-5433. Do you need help for life's hard situations?
My husband recently said he wanted a divorce.
I'm confused on what I should do.
I have an eating disorder.
New Life Live answers your questions on relationships, grief, addiction, trauma, anxiety, and much more, all from a biblical perspective with our panel of professional counselors and psychologists.
I learn a lot from your program.
You help so many people.
I appreciate your ministry.
Whether you listen or watch, there are so many ways to connect with us to ask our panel of counselors a question. Call us Monday through Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific at 1-800-229-3000 to ask your question on New Life Live. or go to newlife.com/radio for other ways to get your question answered.
I'm trying to find help.
I just want to know how to set boundaries.
If it's a sin, what am I supposed to do?
Need a therapist or a coach, a resource, or an intensive? Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. 1-800-NEW-LIFE. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
Welcome back. I want to take a minute to say thank you to all of you who are financially supporting New Life. You are making a difference in the lives of so many people. And if you haven't yet taken the chance to support New Life financially, you can do that today. You can call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE, or you can text NLM to 28950. You are making a difference, and I want to say thank you in advance for being part of what God is doing through New Life. Right now, we are talking with Bea, who's calling us from San Francisco, and she's been having this confusing prayer from church. I think that's where she met him. So Jill and Henry...
And Becky and I were talking at the break. We want to know if this guy has actually taken you out on a date. Like, have you spent any one-on-one time with him away from church? Or is he just seeing you at church and being really touchy and flirty and kissing multiple women?
No. I will explain just real quick. We've been hanging out on our own since December, for a year. Okay. And I have to admit, the pursuing of maybe the friendship, the inviting, and the touching, that I say my love language, innocent, has been more initiated by me. But he, where he's fine with it, and he does it back a little. He does, yeah.
Okay, so he's giving you none of these signals. But inside, you have mixed signals coming from inside of you, not from him.
No, he's giving a lot of verbal mixed signals and some physical mixed signals.
Like what? Like what?
He says all these loving things and flattering and loving and.
Those are descriptive. I need sentences.
You're such.
I'm not very smart. What does he say?
He says that he can't. He's looking so forward to spending time with me. That the best. We had an unforgettable evening, and I have incredible, back rub, and he.
Incredible what?
Back rubs, and that.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Can I just?
He loves me.
I get it. I just want to give you a little. I'm going to give you a little decision tree here. I'm going to give you a map, a matrix. Okay. Here's what I would do. I would say to him, you know what? Obviously, I like you. You've said that you like me, but I've got a problem. I got a problem. I'm confused. Okay? When you do this and this and this, then I get confused as to what kind of relationship you really want. What kind of relationship you want. Is this a friendship, or is this kind of maybe more than a friendship or different than a friendship, A? And B, if he says, I do want more, I think I want more, then I would ask very specifically, dude, it's been a year and 2 months, 3 months now. Why are you still pansying around? Why haven't you said that? And here's why I would ask that. Because you got to determine, A, if he says, no, I just want to be friends, then you've got to say, well, it confuses me, so we need to really act like friends, you know. But if it is the other, you know, if you do want more, then why haven't you said that? Now, there's going to be two options. One is he might say, because I'm not sure, which is okay. But then you've got to say, then what can we do to help figure that out? Because I don't want to continue down confusion. If he says, on the other hand, no, I think I want more, then say, well, then why haven't you said it? Because that's going to get him to own a couple of things. Either, well, I wasn't sure how you would respond, or B, he's got some fears. And then you want to say, well, if that's true, you go work those out and show up. You might want to get a, this is, I was about to say something maybe misunderstood.
Yeah.
The wrong way. Go to your doctor and see if you're healthy, okay? But if you can't, if you're stuck somewhere, and then I want you to go figure that out, and when you get it figured out, then come back. Mm-hmm. But this continuing to go down La La Land, he's not owning his intentions.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, you have the DTR in every dating relationship to find the relationship. And where men too, but a lot of times they make a mistake, is there's enough breadcrumbs on an intermittent reinforcement schedule, like a slot machine, that you get some hope up because you got this breadcrumb, and then you keep going. And I don't want you to spend the rest of your dating career, in a what do they call it? In a batting cage, where you're learning how to bat without ever going to the real game. I don't want you wasting more time.
I agree, Jill.
Right, and I do think for some men, it does take them longer than women. Like, we want to have that conversation after a month, right? And so, it's good to be patient and let it play out some, but you have done that. I'm wondering, B, you admitted to doing more of the initiating. So he's passively in this relationship, right? You do all the pursuing. He just shows up, and he doesn't make any commitments. Like Henry said, he doesn't own his intentions. And so, in your confusion, I'm wondering, what if you didn't do as much initiating? What would that look like? Because sometimes if we overfunction for another person, we allow them to underfunction. And a lot of times it's because we're afraid that they won't pursue at all. But I think you need to know that now, because you cannot be both sides of this relationship. And at some point he's got to kick in, or this is just going to be flirty, fun, and frustrating.
I love the way that
and what I was saying about you got to find out if he says, well, I do want it, but I'm not sure. What are his issues? Because look, ultimately, and I know there are outliers, but women want to be desired without conflict. They want to know their man wants them. They want to see him initiate and show up. They want to see him making plans in some form or fashion that he delivers on, and a track record of them feeling protected, secure, and all that stuff. You are living in La La Land, and if that is a predictor, you want that to change before you do something serious.
Yes.
And if it's not, then you got a great warm-up act, but you need to go to the main show.
I love it. Well, we're going to be ending the show in about a minute, but you know what I thought of just now is your book, Henry, How to Get a Date Worth Keeping.
Yep.
You can probably get a copy, B, at Amazon.com, but I love just that definitive, what are you doing in the relationship? Both sides, right? DTR, define the relationship. That also is good for families. That's good for literally, like, how do you show up in the relationship, and what are you expecting from somebody else? It has been a delight to have you with us today, Henry, the OG. Thank you.
Twice in 1 week. We love it.
It's so
Always great to be with you. Hey, Becky, can I give just a little plug here? Because I get asked
about 30
later.
seconds.
Go to drcloud.com/community, and a lot of stuff we talked about.
Thanks for listening. We hope this program has helped you by giving you insights for handling the challenges you face in your life. We want you to know that we're here for you, But you also need to know that New Life Live is a listener-supported ministry. To make your donation or to get any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com. Please join us again on Monday for New Life Live.